Back at it again, baby, and we got doozy. We got Thomas Sowell, Ben Shapiro, Chomsky, and AOC. Let's dive in.
So I think the Green New Deal is exactly the right idea. You can raise questions about the specific form in which Ocasio-Cortez and Markey introduced it. Maybe it shouldn't be exactly this way. It should be a little bit differently.
So AOC made a complete fool of herself last week because her team released an insane Green New Deal plan. They released it on her website. It was up for hours and hours and hours and hours. And then it was pulled down because this document, the 6-page document, showed that the Democratic program on the Green New Deal is fully insane. It suggested we should abolish airplanes in favor of trains. It suggested we were going to build charging stations, quote unquote, everywhere, that we were going to retrofit or rebuild every building in the United States. It suggested that we were going to make sure that we had vacation time.
I've never even been on a plane a day in my life. Me and Heights, we had a beef a long time ago and haven't gotten along since, but that's another story. But we abolished planes? I don't know. Maybe that's a feasible thing that would work. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comment section, but I feel like that sounds like something wild to do. I do believe charging stations will be more prevalent in the future, for sure. You know, as battery-powered cars become more and more popular.
Suggested that we were going to make sure that we had vacation time and full health care and full parental leave and full payment for people who were unable and unwilling to work. I mean, the plan was full-scale communism. It was just a communist.
No. Unwilling to work? Absolutely not. I think our system does need to be fixed, but there needs to be some parameters. There needs to be some restrictions. For example, I've seen people selling their food stamps. If you have enough food stamps to sell, why do you have them? And that's just one example. Like, I just think that's BS. Are there people that need some help? Absolutely. And we should help them. But there needs to be more restrictions. The system should be a lot more strict than what it currently is. But that's just my opinion. Y'all let me know how you feel.
Plan. It was openly red. It was just full. It wasn't even green. It was just red.
And then, of course, the red and the green.
Millennials and people and, Gen Z and all these folks that come after us are looking up, and we're like, the world is going to end in 12 years if we don't address climate change. And your
what? Is that? No, that can't be true, right?
Biggest issue is your biggest issue is how are we going to pay for it? And like, this is the war. This is our World War II. And
World War II? Didn't we already have that? I thought we were on 3, but maybe it's too early in the morning. I don't know. Y'all let me know.
I think for younger people, we're looking at this and we're like, how are we saying let's take it easy when 3,000 Americans died last year? How are we saying let's take it easy when the nth person has just died from our cruel and unjust criminal justice system? How are we saying take it easy when the America that we're living in today is so dystopian?
Last week, as if on cue, activists showed up with a group of kids to harass California Senator Dianne Feinstein for the crime of not endorsing the Green New Deal. Watch.
Some scientists have said that we have 12 years to turn this around.
Well, it's not going to get turned around in 10 years. What we can do,
Senator, if this doesn't get turned around in 10 years, you're looking at the faces of the people who are going to be living with these consequences.
The government is supposed to be for the people and by the people and all
you know
for the
what's
people.
interesting about this group is I've been doing this for 30 years. I know what I'm doing. You come in here and you say it has to be my way or the highway. I don't respond to that.
Any plan that doesn't take bold, transformative action is not going to be what we need.
Well, you know better than I do. So I think one day you should run for the Senate.
What do you... Ooh, mic drop. I don't believe kids should be involved in that kind of situation. You got kids that are scared, and kids should just be kids. They shouldn't be involved in this sort of thing. But also, I do see a lot of BS going on, and I have made the joke in the past, maybe I should run for president and things, because listen, and you guys can let me know if you agree or disagree in the comment section, but there's a lot of BS going on. You see Democrats only voting for Democratic policies and agendas, and same thing with Republicans. There's this whole one-sided thing. And if you're a Republican and you vote for anything Democratic, you are a traitor. You are an absolute scumbag. And it's just like, wait, what? Like, we're supposed to be working together, not acting like 10-year-old, 12-year-old kids. Like, the stuff that I see is ridiculous. Whoever's idea has the most facts and statistics to back it up is the one that we should be going with, not this whole, oh, if you're Democrat, we only vote for Democratic agendas and we don't vote for anything Republican. Like, if you look at some of these votes, it's like basically all Democrats vote for Democrat stuff and all Republicans vote for Republican stuff. I mean, there's very, very little mix that I've personally seen with some of these votes. And it's just like, why are we acting like 12-year-old kids? These people are like 40, 50, 60, 70 years old acting like 12-year-olds. And I'm tired of seeing it. Honestly, I truly am. I don't care which side of the fence you stand on, and I hate saying that, but I don't care if you're part of the right or part of the left. If you're part of the right and you see some of the right doing some BS, it should be called out immediately. Period. BS is BS. I need to put that on the shirt. BS is BS. Because I feel like a lot of people have lost that concept. If you're part of the left and you see some BS, you need to call it out immediately. BS is BS. There should be no loyalty. Whoever has the best argument and backs up that argument with facts, statistics, and the most logic, that should be who we should all go with. It should be that simple. Which is part of the reason why I feel like we should get rid of the right and the left. There's too much of this, oh no, I'm over on this side, so I can't agree with anything over there. There's too much of that going on from the senators and Congress people themselves, and I've seen some of it amongst just regular citizens too. And it's just like this stuff is ridiculous. We're acting like some people are acting like 12-year-old kids, man. And I'm just tired of seeing it. I feel like common sense and critical thinking is at an all-time low. And we need somebody in office that will bring common sense back to the table. But that's just my opinion. Y'all let me know how you agree. If you agree with it, if you disagree with it, let me know why. All right.
You make of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? She has this growing movement, even among some people who historically haven't been particularly persuaded by the socialist meme. I mean, but there's something about her that seems to be very popular. Do you think it's going to continue, or will she fall flat?
I don't know. Again, it depends upon whether people go by facts or by rhetoric. If they go by rhetoric, she's a rising star.
First, I asked Noam Chomsky to talk about the Green New Deal and the lessons of the old New Deal.
First of all, I think the Green New Deal is exactly the right idea. You can raise questions about the specific form in which Ocasio-Cortez and Markey introduced it. Maybe it shouldn't be exactly this way. It should be a little bit differently. But the general idea is quite right. And there's very solid work explaining, developing in detail exactly how it could work. So a very fine economist at UMass Amherst, Robert Pollin, has written extensively in extensive detail with close analysis of how you could implement policies of this kind in a very effective way, which would actually make a better society. It wouldn't be that you'd lose from it, you'd gain from it. The costs of renewable energy are declining very sharply. If you eliminate the massive subsidies that are given to fossil fuels, they probably already surpass them. Is
that true? Let me know in the comment section.
There are many means that can be implemented and carried out to overcome, certainly to mitigate, maybe to overcome this serious crisis. So the basic idea is, I think, completely defensible, in fact, essential. A lot of the media commentary ridiculing this and that aspect of it are essentially beside the point. You can change the dates from 2030 to 2040. You can do a couple of other manipulations, but the basic idea is correct.
Whether it will in fact cut down on the greenhouse gases significantly, and whether even if it does, whether that will really be enough, because after all, we are only a small part of the world, to affect the entire temperature of the Earth, it seems quite dubious. despite the sort of notion that it's a proven fact that man-made factors create.
I do agree with the statement that we are just a small part. Just because, over here in the U.S. we do the right thing, whatever that may be. Because, like I said, I don't know the right answer, but whatever the right thing is, if we do the right thing, the rest of the world has to be on board too. Because us doing it means nothing if the rest of the world doesn't. So I do agree with that.
Global warming. There are literally hundreds of people who spend their lives specializing in the study of climate who say no, that is not the case.
We've seen some very striking examples. Take, say, the Green New Deal. A couple of years ago, that was an object of ridicule if it was mentioned at all. Some form of Green New Deal is essential for the survival of humanity. Now it's part of the general agenda. Why? Activist engagement, especially Sunrise Movement. Group of young people acted significantly up to the point of sitting in congressional offices. They received support from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, other young legislators who came into office as part of the Sanders-inspired popular wave. Another great success. Ed Markey, senator from Massachusetts, joined in. And now it's part of the legislative agenda. The next step is to force it through in some viable form, and there are very good ideas as to how to do that. Well, that's the way.
I did just hear him say force it through. What do you mean by that?
Things can change.
You have to pretend to be certain, because otherwise you'll get no support for what you're doing. I mean, you go around saying, well, I think there'll be global warming. Well, there's no money in that. I mean, there's no votes in that. I mean, I just talked to God, and he told me that it's going to be global warming. Now, let's set up a multi-billion-dollar program to stop it. So many places where they've had record low temperatures. They had snow in Houston, the earliest they've ever had. The last record for something like this was like 5 inches. They got 20 inches. I mean, what used to amuse me a lot in recent years is when they have schedule a global warming conference and they have to cancel it because of the cold. I mean, it just doesn't make a dent.
Okay, and AOC put it up on her website, and then she removed it from her website, and then she lied about it. So last Friday night, apparently on Tucker Carlson's program, one of AOC's top advisors was on with Tucker Carlson talking about the so-called Green New Deal, and he just started lying about it. He was asked specifically about propositions in AOC's document, and he just said, that wasn't in the document. I don't know what you're talking about. That was, no, we never put anything like that up. That's not there. And Tucker's like, what now? Like, I'm looking at the document. And this advisor just is lying. I mean, he just openly lies. The guy's name is Robert Hockett. He's a Cornell professor and advisor to AOC. And he says, no. AOC has never said anything like that. Watch the lie.
Why would we ever pay people who are, quote, unwilling to work?
We never would, right? And AOC has never said anything like that, right? I think you're referring to some sort of document that some doctored document that somebody other than us has been circulating.
Oh, I thought that came right from her. That was in the background or from her office, is my understanding.
No. She's actually tweeted it out to laugh at it.
If anybody's fact-checked that, let me know in the comment section. Obviously, Tucker is a part of the news, and I don't trust nor watch the news, and a lot of you agreed with me when I made that statement. Honestly, I've probably watched more of the news or news clips here with y'all recently than I've watched in years. So that's just wild to even really think about. But yeah, let me know if anybody's fact-checked that in the comment section. I have gotten a couple people that have mentioned, I haven't had or checked out enough people that debate against the Shapiros and the Thomas Sowells and Jordan Petersons, of the world. So I had this video on the list, so I wanted to move it up the list and get it out there sooner. Because at the end of the day, I don't care if it's right or left. Whoever has the best argument with the most facts and statistics or studies to back whatever their argument is, that's where I'm going. If that means somebody on the left has that, guess what? I'm going with the left. If that means somebody on the right has that, then I'm going with the right. And honestly, the way that I feel everybody should feel that way, but maybe I'm wrong. Y'all let me know in the comment section. I'll flow where the facts go. Y'all let me know how you feel about it in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button before you go. And who did y'all agree with more? AOC and Chomsky or Sowell and Ben Shapiro? Peace and love. I'm out.